like to welcome everyone to the conversation where we talk about everything Cowboys. My favorite team, your favorite team, America's team. Here with your host, Coach Marv.
Hello, Cowboy Nation. Hello, Cowboy Nation. I had to. This is a very impromptu live show today. I plan on coming back later on today, tonight, to do a live stream watch party for the Chicago and the Rams game. As I told you before, I was going to do some live streams during the playoffs. I'm going to do a live stream of the Chicago game, and we're going to talk about that game and see what we see in that game and how we just watch a little bit of football together and 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 you see how my mind works when I'm watching the football game and seeing the ebb and flows of a football game. But I had to stop here because I just got finished seeing one of the most inspirational shows that I think, and I don't know if my guy Boss Cowboy is going to see this show or if he's going to be in the chat or is someone in there that seeing the chat where they let him know that and I hadn't talked to him personally um after his show, but I just caught the last part of his show, and in the last part of his show, um it touched me so emotionally that I had to put some super chats in there of amen and double amen in his show. um and it's not about as much as about the content of about Dante Jones, which I think is a very good candidate because he comes from the mud, and it's not even about the other stuff that about who's the defensive coordinator. Y'all know my feelings. You look at my feelings about the defensive coordinator and about uh, what type of person we should have. And I think maybe that guy is a very good candidate because he does speak and talk like Schottenheimer. He comes from the mud. Schottenheimer has come from the mud. But I think much more important, the boss picked touched upon. And a lot of people want to talk about negativity or try to shoot down, and there's a lot of us that we don't always agree. I don't always agree with Boss Cowboy in every situation where he comes his ideas, but I know where they come from. A general respect of he loves football and he wants the Cowboys to win. And just like with every other content creator, we all don't agree. But we should agree about one thing that he stated at the end of his show. If we love football, not just the Cowboys, football. If this Cowboy Nation were true blue, outright football fans, there's a lot of stuff in Dallas that we will not allow, and there will be a lot of stuff as football people that we would demand that this organization do and go about, or we wouldn't be exaggerating about certain things that we exaggerate about because we're true blue football fans. And we have let this organization made it so publicly and have this organization have chased a media attention so much that we have become Hollywood in nature. And when you come Hollywood in nature, you forget the essence of reality. I remember one thing, y'all. I remember when Tony Romo, and the great Bill Parcells said this when he talked about quarterbacks. He said quarterbacks can't get Hollywood because once they get Hollywood, that's it. And you know Tony Romo came from the mud to become a starting quarterback in Dallas. And you know why Tony Romo didn't win a Super Bowl? Because Bill Parcells retired. Because if Bill Parcells would have still stayed here with football first and love of football, Tony wouldn't have been doing so many interceptions. Tony would have had more players around, and he would have had it all on Tony. And he would have let y'all talk about Tony and he feel it. And Tony would have won. But when Bill Parcells got away here from here, and Jerry took over with his puppets, Tony got Hollywood. And it's not about, man, this stuff about Dante, it's not about is my guy, your guy, or this or that. We don't understand the reason why we don't win. It ain't because of players. It might not even be because of coaches. It might not be. It's because we don't trust the basics, fundamentals about putting together, coming from the mud, and winning from the mud. And we allow this ownership to drag everything out in a drama manner. And we feed into it. Till it makes us start arguing with each other. And start blaming and rushing and over exaggerating and go to the point that we just go everything that's not football. Man, yeah, if Dante Jones is that guy that did all that, yeah. I'm with boss on that. I've said this about Dak Prescott. Boss can tell you this, and all other people tell you. I said for the longest, the best thing for the essence of a guy like Dak Prescott is to get the hell out of Dallas, and he'll win a Super Bowl someplace else. He might have won two because he's just that good. I watched us denigrate guys that were real football guys. I watched us, our own fan base. I watched us turn on Ezekiel Elliott, and the only thing he did was just grind out. Didn't do nothing, sacrificed himself, did the dirty work. And I watched the ownership, talk about his money and all that. And I watched us turn on real football guys. I watched us turn on Tony Pollard, a real football guy. I watched us turn on D-Law. And he's showing you every day in Seattle that it ain't about getting 100,000 sacks. It's about making plays. It's about playing the run, playing the pass. He did that here. And he was a real football guy. Run plays down. Every time you see him, he was hustling. But we were looking for something that was crazy. Real football guys. We could have gotten many coaches that have been here that was real football guys. Mike Vrabel would have been here if we really wanted them go get them. And it's not the essence about if it could be Flores, but we are the richest, wealthiest organization in the history of sports. And as Cowboy fans, when you tell us the best guy that's on the market right now at defensive coordinator, and we got one of the worst defenses in the history of defenses, and you tell us that they don't fit culture, is culture when we walked out there with a defense that people wouldn't consider being physical at all, is that our culture? Is it our culture when we have a team that has been the most penalized team in the NFL in the last 5 years? Is that our culture? Is it our culture when you go get a guy like Elam and he can't tackle my grandma? Is that our culture? And you tell me that we don't even consider that guy because it's a culture thing? I just did a video yesterday and say for us, we deserve, as a fan base is so big, for Jerry, for you to give us the best in coaching salary, coaches. And I'm gonna say that again, and I'm gonna say it till I get blue in the face. Take what you have no restraints over to control the stuff you got restraints over. And you ain't tell me you got the best of the best out there, and you won't even interview them. You won't have to even give them a thought. That's a slap in our face. It goes back to that thing what I've said before about that sign they got hanging up in Dallas in their locker room. And they said it's what is a privilege to be a player, a coach, or a member of the Dallas Cowboys. They try to make our fan base and you as fans feel like you privileged to be Cowboy fans. No, Jerry and Steven, you're privileged to have got fans that love your organization. Because without us, you are nothing. But they try to make us feel that we are privileged to be a part of their organization. And I like when he said today, if we're real football people and the essence of football, we'll understand that. We have always been Hollywood. You hear me, Coach? You say, Coach Marv, you're always going back to history is what's the truth. We have always been Hollywood. In the 70s, we was always Hollywood. But we were the essence of football, real football as well. Michael Irvin then was Hollywood. But inside those white lines, they didn't care. If you didn't play football, you had to go. Let's stop and let these Cowboys play this soap opera non-football thing with us. I appreciate what he said today. It's crazy that I didn't even know the I didn't even I don't even really listen to Jared. When Jared talked and when I don't even listen to him because I know it's a bunch of crazy stuff. But it goes back to what I was saying. If y'all and I think I got some bad reviews on my last show that we pimping backwards because I know some people took a negative connotation of it, but Boss talked about today was truth. We pimp it backwards. We spend so much time to try to find some gym, some uh recreation project we can make on coaches, some guy that we ain't seen before, and we gonna try to make them a champion and to prop them up. We go so hard to try to make coaches stars, but we got guys out there that's making player stars. Sad when I watch a team like the Seattle team making guys stars. Salute, boss Cowboy. And you're right. Keep on doing your work, man. Because if you played the role with everybody else, you'll have 100,000 subscribers now. The only reason why you don't is because you're so real. But one thing about realness, it will pay off in the end. Because the truth is the light. And it will always come back to the truth. Until this Cowboy Nation find how to get it from the mud and go back to the basics of football, we're going to always flounder. Because our history doesn't allow us to do that. Our history doesn't allow us to be a finesse, uh, uh, fly by the night um, football organization and win. Our history tells us that we are grinders that had bling bling, but when behind the scenes in between the white lines, we had the maverick coaches, and our culture was about football. Just be honest with you, Jerry. You don't like Flores because he's suing the NFL. And some of the people you suing, your name might be in on it. If you want to be real. But I will be back on later on today, man. Hey, I'm coming back later on today to do the Chicago and Rams game because I love football. And I love sitting in front of y'all talking about football and talking about how good football or championship football is played and how we can be those type of football guys. I respect those guys. That don't mean I'm not a Cowboy fan when I'm watching the Bears and the Rams. I'm watching people that have sacrificed and got in the mud and did the right things to get where they're at. I always tell y'all one thing, man. If y'all Cowboy fans do one thing for me, it's gonna help you out a lot to deal with these Joneses. I know y'all incumbent in just in overwhelmed with your Cowboys, right? But take some time to love football and watch other organizations and watch other fan bases and how they handle their players and how they handle their team and how other good organizations handle their way of business. Don't get so focused all on yours and where you can't get blinded and you think that this is how it's supposed to work. I'm learning that from a fan because I learned that was in the coaching. When you coached, you went to other camps every off season to go to other to see how other teams run practices, how they run offenses, how they run defenses, clinics, because you got to see other people. Then you said it open your view of everything. Do that in this playoff season. Follow other content, look at other content creators in their shows and see if they're this is toxic or they have the inside media is shooting out stuff that sounds crazy. You will see that there's a difference. And you may start to see, say, man, what are we doing over here as a nation when we got so much and we're very close? We're not as far away as you think. But it's all about our attitude and it's all about what we fight for. And Boss is right. Let's fight for real football. And we need to fight for real football. We're not gonna all agree. But Jerry needs to hear us that that we don't want to be Hollywood. We want to win football games. And in this with Jerry, and maybe Jerry can hear this. Jerry, you made the right decision. You go football wise. They may look at the coaches that you bring in here and they may give them credit. But don't you understand? You still gonna get the credit because you brought somebody in here that could do it the right way. Make sure you come in on today. I think that game runs off at 6:30 tonight. It's going to be the Chicago Bears and the Rams. I will be doing that live stream because one of my favorite cousins, he is he gets on my case, and I'm gonna say this again. He gets on my case when I said early in the year when we lost to the Chicago Bears, and I said that the Chicago probably won't win 67 games this year, and he said, "Man, y'all need to tell. He need to tell. I need to tell everybody that I apologize that." And I do apologize there, but I'm gonna come and watch a team that listen, that ain't more talented than we are. That we are two times the talent of that team in Chicago, and they're playing for a divisional round. And that team in California, the Rams, and we're gonna watch them in a cold climate and see how football. And we're gonna watch football, see how it is, and see how they're going. They listen here. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna say this right quick. They about to get on Dak Prescott after a while. Watch what our media and our internal media and the outside media. They talking about the defensive coordinator and all this right now. But as soon as the defensive coordinator is put in place, they're gonna find a way to transition it to Dak Prescott. I can tell you that's coming. Just wait for it. It's gonna come. It's coming down the line. So, but salute, man. Real football. Let's get out of all the antics. Let's get back to real football. Salute, man. And listen, we can get back to that. Our DNA says real football, man. But I just love, when I hear a person talks about real football, it opens my heart really well to football. And we're gonna watch some football. We're gonna watch some football this afternoon, and we're probably gonna do one of the AFC or the NFC championship game. We won't do no Super Bowl coverage, but we will do another one. But we're gonna come on again live today and do a live show with the Rams in Chicago. Please come back and watch it with me. Let's comment on about the game. This what you see in the game is going to be. I'm gonna try to make sure I have the thing up. So if you ask a question about certain parts of the game or certain things about the game or certain things you think I'm thinking about in the game, come and pick my brain and I can give you what I feel about the game and see how we view a game. And I'm gonna try to view this game as I'm viewing it from the sideline and how I feel the game flow going on. And I'm gonna try to give you a feeling how we would look, how a coach would look at the game flow. We're not in the X's and O's. We don't know their playbook. We don't know how that goes, but we still can give you an essence of how we feel the game flow is going and where we think how things should be handled based off game flow. You can always do that. So we're gonna learn that stuff and see how that's related. But stay, follow these other content creators, follow the laws the Boss Cowboys, the Hennies, my main man, landlord, Jay Tuck, Big Rome, Church, Amp Sports, um, um, Lou Takes, Big Time Show. All these guys, man. Follow all these guys. Give all these guys all you can give, and because they're going out here and giving you their content, man. We are working hard, man. And as I said too, um, follow the show if you want to support the show. Um, come on, man. Send Coach Marv a cash app, man, to support the show because we want to make sure that not only we taking time out to try to give you production, we're doing this because we care about you, man. We taking time to, try to make sure we get this stuff and get all this stuff because it costs, man. This stuff, man, it costs more and more to try to get the cameras, the lightings, and all that stuff that we got to continue to buy to try to push. But we want to do this because we love football and we're producing. And I'm gonna always love football first. I'm always love football first. My love of football comes first before it comes for the Cowboys. Football is first, then the Cowboys. Some of y'all need to start getting that way. Football first, then the Cowboys. If you got Cowboys first and then football, you're liable to fall for all this hokey doke. Football first, then the Cowboys. Until later on today, remember I always leave my show and say, hey, nothing or no one can stop God's will. Remember that. Nothing or no one will stop God's will. Until the next time, man, till 3 o'clock this afternoon, 6 o'clock this afternoon, Eastern time, live stream with the Chicago and the Rams. Until that, enjoy the first game with New England and the Texans. I'm hoping the Texans can pull out a victory. Quarterback got to play a lot better this game. If your quarterback comes along, Texas got a great chance. And that would really mess up the apple cart in Dallas if the Texans make it to the Super Bowl. But Texans are doing because of real football, not Hollywood.